Offense number 11.
JSN cursed at the ref like I curse at my TV every single time a 49ers player gets hurt, which is very, very often. Alex Kemp stared down JSN like an angry dad looking at his misbehaving son. NFL Week 4 is here, and the 49ers have no rushing touchdowns, and they're 3-0. You have more rushing touchdowns than the 49ers. Everyone in Ireland has more rushing touchdowns than the 49ers, which is where Aaron Rodgers will be throwing the football on Sunday. The game is at 6:30 a.m. Pacific, which means it'll be 2:30 p.m. in Ireland when the game starts, which means everyone attending the game will already be hammered off their ass. How fitting, Mr. Soulless Ginger Carson Wentz returns to his homeland of Ireland. And Jordan Addison returning from a DUI suspension, he should fit right in with that. You know, not only do I get to watch Jackson Dart play football, I get to watch Russell Wilson sit on the bench, which is all I wanted to see in the 2010s. It's all I wanted to fucking see. And Justin Herbert is playing the best football of his career. It shit figures when you have a beer in your life, you know? Just goes to show life is just better with a beer and my keys. Houston and Tennessee, battle of the winless. You know, it's hard to believe one of these teams will have a win on their record. The only thing the Philadelphia Eagles have on their record is reckless driving. And the Bucs and Eagles play battle of the undefeated, and one of them will have a loss on their record. And as much as I want it to be the Eagles, probably will be the Bucs. Baker Mayfield's titanic testicles will not be enough for the Eagles' speedy D-line, and they will be going over the speed limit when they leave the stadium. Baker has beat the Eagles the last 2 times he's played them, and he will need a baker's dozen on Sunday, which is 13, which is also Karl Malone's favorite number. And not to be confused with Post Malone, whose favorite number is 40, for the amount of cigarettes that he would smoke in a day, and for the amount of years it's been since the Dallas Cowboys have last made the NFC Championship. And Micah Parsons returns on Sunday in Dallas, and I'm just convinced that Jerry Jones is just trying to ruin the Cowboys at this point. Hiring Matt Eberflus, who's coached the Dallas Cowboys defense into absolute hell on earth, trading Micah Parsons, and then to top it all off, putting CD at running back and making him break his ankle or sprain his ankle, and then letting him go back in the game with a high ankle sprain. What the fuck is happening? I've never seen a player try and go back in with an injury that keeps them out at least a month and a half. That's fucking insane. Besides Phillip Rivers playing on a torn ACL, absolute fucking demon. Demon in the bed and on the field. I mean, what were you thinking, Jerry? I mean, are you not taking the 16 vitamins that you need to stay alive anymore? Because it just seems like you're just going off the fucking rails. And if you thought it couldn't get worse with the matchups, just check out this cash. Saints and Bills. Wow. The only thing Saints and Bills fans will both enjoy for this game is getting blackout drunk. And just think about it. If Sam Darnold puts up 44 on your team, just imagine what Josh Allen is going to do to them. You know, Josh Allen may score enough touchdowns to the point where the Bills can donate them to the Miami Dolphins. And speaking of which, you thought it couldn't get worse? Well, the Dolphins played the Jets on Monday night. Absolute cinema. Just pure cinema. Once again, I can't believe one of these teams is going to have a win on their record. They're both 0-3. They both suck ass. And Tua Tagovailoa is already practicing for when he gets the opportunity to throw the game-losing interception so Mike McDaniel can finally get fired. And he can get released from the Dolphins. Or traded. Whatever the fuck. He needs to get the fuck out of there. Or go on the bench or something. You know, I really can't imagine attending this game for any other reason than to get blackout drunk. The Cleveland Browns play the Detroit Lions in Detroit. And that will be a football game. That will surely be a football game played on Sunday. And Trevor Lawrence and his wig trot into Santa Clara. He's playing there for the first time in his career. And the Niners are wearing all white to combat the heat, which is a pretty smart move by them, if I must say. 2 really good defenses, and Ricky Pearsall, 3rd in the NFL in receiving yards. Absolute exciting white. The exciting whites are back. And if we beat the Jags, we beat the Jaguars on Sunday, I feel pretty good about where we are heading into Thursday night against the Rams. Going to be a tough game. And it's honestly looking like Brock Purdy is going to play and Mac Jones isn't. And the Chiefs and Ravens, one of these teams being 3-1 is actually insane. Actually kind of crazy. The Ravens scored 30 or more points in every game this season, and they scored 40 twice, and they're 1-2. Just think about that for a second. You know how bad you have to play on defense to score 40 points 2 times and 30 each time and have a 1-2 record? And you know how bad your offensive line has to play for Lamar Jackson to get sacked 7 times 7 fucking times in one game, dude. I mean, just imagine if you still had Joe Flacco back there. I mean, it would have been a CTE speed run. The guy would have gotten sacked like 15 times at least. You know, this is a tough game to predict. I think the Chiefs offense could have their best game because the Baltimore defense is just playing so bad. But there's nothing that I want more than the Chiefs to be 1-3. I mean, absolutely nothing. So Derrick Henry, please don't put baby oil on your hands. Please do not put any lotion or anything. Don't fumble the ball. Okay, use your big-ass stiff arm to stiff arm the Chiefs out of the playoff picture. And it should be a pretty close game. I could see 27-24 either way. The Colts and the Rams play each other. Should be a good-ass game. I fucking hope to God Indiana Jones can put away the fucking Rams. I really do. I think that they're the best team in the AFC right now. It's honestly hard to put anyone above them besides Buffalo, just because Buffalo's 3-0. But personally, to be honest, I think the Colts are better than them. I think you bring in the Colts or you bring in the Bills to the Colts stadium, I think the Colts beat them. If you put the Colts in the Bills stadium, I think the Bills beat them. So I guess it's just a matter of where you play. Rams front seven, good as fuck. Seriously good. Their secondary fell apart last week in the fourth quarter. Insane comeback by Philly. I don't think that we're going to see a lot of that from them. Again, I think that was just like a mishap that won't happen again because their defense is, like I said, is too good for, them to be doing that. Honestly, Jared Verse, he had to eat his words after he said that he will be saying obscenities after Joshua Carty makes the kick, and he didn't make the kick because he got fucking blocked and returned by a fat-ass fucking Eagles defensive lineman for a touchdown on live TV. That was live TV, bro. We saw that. Fucking insane. I think, honestly, this could be the best game of the week if it's not Chiefs-Ravens or Packers-Cowboys, which I got a feeling that the Packers-Cowboys game is going to be a fucking snooze fest. I don't know why. I just got that feeling. I just got that feeling because, I think Green Bay is just going to not blow them out, but I think that they're going to, shut down the Cowboys offense, if I have to be honest. I mean, if it wasn't for Tucker Kraft, Green Bay's offense would be kind of ass. It would kind of suck a little bit. They really don't have a wide receiver one. You got guys like Wicks, Dobbs, Golden, Jaden Reed's hurt. So, I mean, I guess that definitely derails some things that you want to do, but still, it's like they're just missing something. And Jonathan Taylor has been resurrected. He's brought back from the dead. He had a decent year last year. Actually, he had a pretty good year. He had 1,400 yards, so that's a very good year, honestly. But the year before that and the year before that, he shit the fucking bed. He hadn't looked the same since 2021, and now he looks like that version of himself 4 years later, which is honestly very impressive. That obviously takes a lot of weight off of Daniel Jones, but it really doesn't feel like Daniel Jones needs any weight taken off of him because the Colts offense is playing the best it's ever had under Shane Steichen. And it's honestly so crazy how we look back and a lot of Colts fans were saying we failed AR, this is ridiculous. We're not even going to give him a chance. And then week one happens and it's like, okay, now I see why that we didn't give him a chance because there's no shot in hell that he would have fucking done this. And they're right. They're right to think that he would not have done that. The Colts would not be as good as they are right now if Daniel Jones wasn't on the field. And to add to that, their defense is playing really great because they're talented as fuck. They have so many good players, and I don't really think people realize how many good players the Colts defense actually has, especially on the D-line. I really don't know what we're going to expect from Jackson Dart. I feel like there's a lot of times where a rookie comes in, they play their first game, and they absolutely ball out unexpectedly, like Justin Herbert did, Daniel Jones did. He actually had 4 touchdowns that game, which is kind of ironic. And Brock Purdy, there's situations like that where a player comes in kind of not unprepared, but they weren't expecting you to come in this early maybe, and they play really good. This probably could not be a more tough situation. And I said in the before that the Colts and Bills are the 2 top teams in the AFC. I might have to take that back because the Chargers, at least defensively, maybe not offensively, I don't think they really hit their stride yet, but Justin Herbert is playing a top 5 quarterback. He's playing like an MVP right now. I think they haven't really fully hit their stride as a team yet. They struggled a little bit against the Raiders. It could get ugly. Like, they could easily blow them out because the Giants are just not playing good. And the Chargers are. But I think Jackson Dart is actually going to have a pretty good game. I do. I think he's going to throw for like 3 touchdowns and then never look that good again for the rest of the season. That would happen to the Giants. So, you definitely had to do something. Dayball, he knows his ass is getting fired soon. There's just no, look, you're not making the playoffs. You already had your rebuild. You got your quarterback. You got great talent on defense. You got Malik Neighbors. You got Wan'Dale Robinson. You got Scattaboo. You just need to get rid of the obvious problem, which is the coach and the GM and a lot of the other coaches probably. I'm going to be honest. I really think Tampa Bay, even though they're down Mike Evans, they're getting Chris Godwin back, who might probably be on a snap count. We don't really know yet, but I could see him coming back and having a pretty significant role considering that McMillan and Mike Evans is out. And, Ibuka is there. He's obviously immediately becomes your wide receiver 1, no question. But I think Godwin, even though it is his first game back, he wasn't put on IR. So I really just think that these first few weeks was just him getting ramped up so he gets in shape, kind of like football shape, so he can go in the game and play 90% of the snaps if he has to. And in this situation, he most likely will have to because Mike Evans and McMillan are not in the picture right now. So, Baker Mayfield, he's beaten them the last 2 times that he's played them. I can't see Jalen throwing for like 250, 300 yards against this defense and having AJ and Devontae go crazy because it just hasn't been that way all season. So I think Tampa Bay has the edge. I think Bucky Irving has a good game. And to top it all off, how could I forget? The Bengals and Broncos play 8:15 on Monday night, an hour after the kickoff for the Dolphins and Jets game. That godforsaken game. Who the fuck is going to watch that? Definitely not Brandon Perna, who's going to be watching the Broncos and his Bover throws. I'm so sorry, Brandon, that you have to watch that. It was a tough last 2 weeks. I want to take a moment for him, all the pain that he's had to endure in his life and the past 2 weeks specifically with all the Bover throws. Here are my thoughts, Brandon. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. I know that's what Bo Nix isn't doing when he's throwing the ball. And that's it for me. That's all she wrote. NFL Week 4 is here. I'm from New Jersey. Tony Soprano, Baba Booey, Gabagool, the Jersey Shore, Paulie D, Taylor Ham, Egg and Cheese, Bruce Springsteen. I'm from New Jersey, your mother's ass. See you in the next one. Peace.